Let's analyze this cup and handle pattern with my ghostly intuition.
Yeah. Are you AF enough? You talk loud, but the chain don't bluff. Benji's in the wallet and the pot stack up. On chain Lotto, watch the prize blow up. Hey, hey, are you AF enough? Die hard gang, get that cold bill tough. Poker on the chain and we all play rough. Safe to the end, that's the way we run up. Hey, hey. Whole squad digital, whole squad lethal. This cash, never bout it, no people. Say it fam tight, every member ain't equal. But if you ain't about it, then we spot you at see-through. Wallet on fat, yeah, the Benji go sprint. Chain so fast, you can't track the imprint. Talking big bags, man, we been that since. Hit the Lotto on chain, watch the whole squad rinse. How you AF enough? You talk loud, but the chain don't bluff. Benji's in the wallet and the pot stack up. On chain Lotto, watch the prize blow up. Hey, hey, are you AF enough? Die hard gang, yeah, that cold bill tough. Poker on the chain and we all play rough. Safe to the end, that's the way we run up. Hey, hey. We don't chase hype, we create that wave. Block after block like we building a rave. Poker nights lit, we don't play to be saved. We play to take pot, stack chips, get paid. Now tell me straight, when the time gets tough, do you break or you double up? Cause in this crew, loyalty ain't optional. Only question is, are you AF enough? Are you AF enough? You talk loud, but the chain don't bluff. Benji's in the wallet and the pot stacked up. On chain Lotto, watch the prize blow up. Hey, hey, are you AF enough? Die hard gang, yeah, that cold bill tough. Poker on the chain and we all play rough. Safe to the end, that's the way we run up. Hey, hey.
It's the cup. Give me. I need a cup. I need something to drink. Thank you. There's no handle on this. I'm doing the cup and handle show, bro. It's the cup and handle show. I got no handle again. She wanted to be the executive producer. I'm gonna have to get a new executive producer. You know what? No, I'm lying. I love you, girl. I love you. My daughter says she's going to become my executive producer. She's absolutely on point. She waited in here all day to turn the lights on. She also was my alarm clock. She was a little late, but in her defense, it's not her job. It's not her job. I think my whole family wanted me to sleep a little longer because they knew that my Steelers were eliminated from the frickin' postseason. Am I mad? Yes, I'm mad. Am I sad? No, I don't get sad. I get angry instead to mask my sadness. You know, there was a rumor that my wife used to beat me, and I wear these glasses because she beats me and I have black eyes. This black guy's got black eyes. Wouldn't you know? But today I'm hiding my eyes, not because my wife beats me, but because I cried all night and my eyes are puffy. I figured I'd give you some tea. I'd give the haters some tea because you can't spell haters without a T. So there you have it. No physical altercations, no beat ups by the Wizife. This is just tears of misery. Woo, Nelly. I literally flew out of bed like, yo, totally forgot today is Tuesday. And I have a show I do on Tuesdays now. It's called The Cup and Handle with Ghost and Clutch. And in Clutch's defense, he's like, what time, bro? I was like, yeah, I'm a little late. You know, I'm fashionably late. And it's true. It's fashionable because I wear the same black t-shirt. It's not the same one. I have like hundreds of them. But I wear the same thing every time. So it's not very difficult to get my wardrobe on. I'm very generic. I like my Steelers hat today. I think I'm rocking. Yeah, Steelers hat today. Black tee. And on the bottom, For you ladies out there, I'm wearing nothing. No, I'm just totally joking. Guys, I'm totally kidding. I'm wearing Lululemon sweats if you're interested. Massimo. Good morning, brother.
What it do, brother?
What it do?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon, all over the world. We're here and we're all good. So let's roll.
Yeah, bro. You know what, dude? Let's talk about the market sentiment. Let's talk about the platform. Let's talk about some strategies. Let's talk about Novex.finance. Let's talk about maybe even finding the perfect live trade. You know, yesterday was trade talk, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. See, the difference between Clutch and myself is he's very prompt. So I can assure you, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, trade talk at 12 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 12 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll bring you all the goods. We were on the show yesterday, and we talked about this 145 marker. 145 on Solana has been absolutely its resistance. And not just today, but for a very long period of time. Take all this fancy schmancy things away, and you could just see where it's at right now. Since losing it, we talked about this on the 13th. We've rejected it the following day. And then you had about 5-6 days of rejection. Few days fall off, come back up, few days of rejection. Few days fall off, come back up, couple days of rejection. And yeah, dude, came up, lost it again, and we haven't really sniffed it since December 9th? That's when we sniffed it. And then we came all the way back around, and we're back here January 6th. We sniffed it again. So this is really day 3 of sniffing that 145 marker. 145 is our ultimate resistance. And until we, get there, I just haven't been comfortable keeping longs. I will say this, I've been playing long the last few days, only had maybe 1 or 2 shorts in between this time frame, but I've been pretty much out of my positions as it gets close to that 145 marker, especially yesterday. We talked about it on the show. I waited for a pullback yesterday like crazy. Was just trying to be as patient as I could be, and got the pullback I wanted. Took a long. I think I still have a runner right now left. I literally just trimmed again this morning. Where is my account? All right. You put my Novex up. Yeah, you could see I just trimmed a little bit. I mean, I have 1 left. I think it's really small, guys. So it is what it is. But you just got to kind of just do your due diligence, man. TA is a really powerful tool, man. Technical analysis is a really powerful tool. It really does help you see the market and see the price action and kind of understand what's going on. Egon jumped in the building. What up, Egon? You jumped on the cough and then jumped off?
Mm-hmm.
Unlike you, dog. You okay? I think his boss is in the room. So he didn't want to leave me hanging, but he wanted to make sure. Yeah, he wanted to make sure I heard. I'm picking up what you're putting down, sir. I am picking up what you're putting down. So my boy's working. He's multitasking. He's like, yo, dog, I'm going to hear some TA while my boss is breathing down my neck. I can't say much, but those are the little signals that you get, so that's awesome. I love it. I'm here. Let's go. Clutch is in his office. He's been putting together. He's like, I'm free. Let's go. That's dope. Okay, so let me let him know we're already live. We're live on StreamYards. There you go, Senor Clutch. Okay, so let's talk about it, right? First thing first, if you have yet to repost the stream, please do so. Like it and comment. If I've given you absolutely nothing so far worthy of reposting, then don't repost yet. Don't trip. I got you. We're going to go into some real details here, okay? But if I have, hurry up and repost it. Get the people in the building, man. You never know who you could help along the way by just sharing something. It's not for me to be helped. It's steel sharpens steel. We help each other. And if you know anything about trading, it's the most humbling industry in the world at times. Just when you think you figured it out, you get straight up humbled. And so I gracefully sit here today and I'm going to break down everything I've learned along my journey, what works for me, and hopefully we can even catch a live trade today. Who knows? But the first thing I want to start off with is how important it is to have the right platform to really base your whole trading strategy off of. Well, I'll give you an example. I trim a lot. Everyone knows the joke around me is trim. You know, but I also do the same thing when I enter into a position. I add. But I don't do it just randomly. I have my reasoning for it. It's premeditated as to where I'm going to add. It's not whimsical, right? It's going to be this level I'll add, this level I'll add a little bit more at this level. But if it can't hold that level there, I'm ejecting for a loss. If it does hold that level there, good. We should get a rebound and maybe come up to test some higher highs or test another level, right? But you need the right platform for that. You see, when we first got to deal with CoinCatch, I couldn't understand at first, why am I not profitable? And I didn't realize that every time I made a transaction, that's what their fee was based off of. And I think I can pretty confidently say, I think there was even a fucking minimum, like $4 minimum eject, depending on the amount of money you had on each trade. And so I'm like, damn, bro, like it's not even worth me trimming. I would find myself going, if I trim right here, I don't cover the fees. That's not good. So I would actually have to hold my winning trade. And then out of nowhere, it would go against me. And I'd be like, wait, hold up. I should have just taken the small loss, I guess. And this isn't me knocking CoinCatch. This is me trying to help you understand if you're a new trader or even a veteran, bro. You got to pick up on these small little details because when you're trying to compound and grow an account, let me tell you, bro, every dollar matters. Every one of them. So with Novex, it's not per transaction. It's just based on the volume. So if you got X amount of dollars, you're getting a fee for that X amount of dollars. If it's not X amount of dollars, you have no fee, right? That's just how it works. So for someone like myself, I'm able to trim, and it doesn't punish me because it's still based on how much money did I add to that trade, how much money did I exit entirely on that trade. I can trim 100 times and it's still only having that fee based on that amount that I'm selling, not based on just a transaction. So absolutely, 100%, the right platform for you matters. Picking the right one is absolutely detrimental to your trading. I've given you one example as to why it's detrimental. On one platform, I had 100% hit rate for 4 or 5 days in a row, and I was net negative. On the other platform, I had a streak of, I don't know, maybe 13, 14 days in a row here, and I'm net positive. Same strategy, trim in, trim out, but I'm not getting taxed every time I have a transaction. Besides the gas, 0.00001, whatever it is, right? So no matter how small of an account you have, no matter how large of an account you have the ability to trim as many times as you want. And to me, that's important. Another reason why I absolutely love this particular platform, Novex.finance, you can find it on X. It's on the bottom ticker at NovexFi. Another thing I really love about this is being able to trade on the chart. I kept a runner open today just in case there wasn't a perfect setup. I wanted to have a runner open so I can show you what I mean by being able to trade on the chart. You talk about really capitalizing on profits. Check this out. So this is my position right here. This green little square that you see right here on the left-hand side, right above the AF coin above me, right above my head. You will see that it says P&L. It's in green. And when you hover over it, you can move your mouse to what says take profit and stop loss. Now I can move this down and that would give me a stop loss. I could also move it up and that would give me a take profit. So for example, let's just say I think we're going to test 145 again, but I think we might just end up, I don't know, hitting its head and rejecting it again. Well, there you go. I just grabbed my take profit. I put it right under 145, 144.62. It'll automatically sell. Well, let's say news comes out and it starts running and you're like, whoa. Maybe I don't want that take profit to hit. I can instantly grab it and move it. And I just moved it. Order edited at the very top. I just edited it just like that. My take profit's now 147.65. I can do this thing that easy. I can do it the opposite too. I want my take profit, my stop loss. Just slid it down. Now I have a stop loss. And let's just say it's running. Well, I want to move my stop loss up. I'm going to move it up to just under the 12 EMA. Boop. Now my order is edited. So now my profit isn't going anywhere. If this starts to retrace like it often does after getting close to the 145, if it starts to retrace, my runners will sell at 141.90, just like that. And again, I can move these whenever I want. Until the transaction clears and actually gets fulfilled, doesn't cost me anything. Doesn't cost me anything at all. Having the right platform is massive. I can't express it enough. Having the right platform is massive. Do I want you to trade on Novex? Yes. But if you know me, you know why I want you to trade on Novex. It's not for the money. It's not enough money in the world that I'm going to be making from Novex by you trading on it, bro. It's about understanding how much a platform makes a difference in your trading experience. And I want y'all to win. I've proven myself to y'all for the past year and some change. I'm up here trying to do everything I can for my community to win. And I show up every day expecting nothing in return. If you're trading, jump on NovexFi and try it out. You got literally nothing to lose. Now, of course, if you want to help stimulate the ecosystem of Lotto, you can use the code Lotto. But in all honesty, it doesn't make too much of a difference for us. We just need you to trade on the platform in general. Now, if you run out of money, you're not going to trade anymore. So join our free Telegram so we can help you avoid running out of money. Straight up. If I could tell you how many times we've helped people not get liquidated during these liquidation events. It happens though. You're going to get liquidated from time to time. That's why risk management is extremely important. That's why not having all your eggs in one basket is very important. Novex is up here today. Clutch, are you up here? I had.
Clutch is not here.
Dang it! Gosh, darn it!
He did. I bring a letter from him though. If I may buy 30 seconds of your time to read it.
You know what? I'm gonna say. Hold on, producers on the. Yes. Yes, they said you can absolutely read it. They trust whoever you are behind the Novex account.
Wow. Blind trust, huh? Wow, we'll discuss that topic later. But for now,
you got it. They said you're probably gonna make fun of me, but I don't care. I'm ready to go.
So no. Okay.
It's the voice. It's a very familiar,
bad man. Okay, that's all he said. I don't know what it means.
I'm assuming this is an Aaron Rodgers reference. I'll tell you something. When your Packers lost, did I parade around town so happy they lost to a painted, fingernailed character?
Hey, listen. Again, you're shooting the messenger, right? I told you Clutch gave me that letter. Let's hold back the emotional onslaught that you're gonna.
As a Bears fan, I like this topic. Continue.
Sir,
you didn't have to because everybody else did, Dennis.
Hey, I wanted to beat Rodgers one more time, so I was pulling for you there, Ghost. But
no, honestly, yesterday I don't even know if it was like Rodgers' fault. More so, it's just the whole team doesn't show up when you only score 6 points in the first half, and that's it, right?
Obviously, you're not Clutch, obviously, because you would have known that I did parade around town. Because I know Clutch does know I paraded around town about the fingernails. And I don't know if you know this or not, but during my live stream, you were probably watching your game, right? And during my live stream, I said, look, I get it. The Packers look like a dominating force. But if anybody has watched any Bears games this year, they would know that you physically cannot count this team out because for some reason, they decide to show up in the second half. So if there's any team that's going to come back from, I think, 21-6 or 21-3, whatever it was at half,
it was 21-6, yeah.
It's them, right? And I said this because we saw it time and time this year that they came back. And I also said the Packers better not let this happen, knowing that this team has done this. And mind you, this is by a guy who paints his fingernails, bro, which is wild. And of course, you've been on the poker streams. We like to play No Feelings by Lil Wayne. So I'm going to proceed to go to my text, not text, I apologize, my ex. To show you that I did in fact parade around town because I was just more happy to see that Lil Wayne was actually tuned into our spaces, bro. Believe that shit, huh? He was tuned into our spaces. And we only know this because of the proof. After the stream, he posted, we just lost the playoff game to a ninja with purple nails. We fucking suck bare ass. Bare ass. We don't deserve to be in the playoffs straight like that. And I thought it was cool that Weezy was obviously digging our live streams lately. We've been playing No Ceilings, so I thought that was really cool to see. I did parade around town, not in a manner of such to you. To Messenger. I didn't do it to you personally because I felt like, fuck, bro, it's already hurts enough. But bro, I was trying to explain to you.
But it didn't hurt though. No, look, enough with the joking. I definitely clutched.
Jokes aside,
the reality here, bro, was that the second the Packers were up 15 and had a possession with 54 seconds, I was like, oh, they didn't adjust. They did nothing. They're going to lose this game. I even told Liam, like, my son, get ready. They're going to lose this game. I called it in the third quarter. On the second possession, I guaranteed it. When they did the same thing, there was a minute left in the third quarter, and they decided to not run the ball, send it to the fourth quarter, to start killing the clock, up 13 at that point, or whatever it was, 12. And what's crazy, dude, I've never seen, since the Falcons, two teams gift possessions to a team that's, like, used to coming back. And like,
hey, do you know Matt LaFleur was on that? I
should have taken a bet though. What'd you say? Sorry,
I said Matt LaFleur was on that Atlanta team
Yes, he was.
Oh, he was. There you go. See, I
Twice.
didn't even think about that. I would have eventually got to that. Thank you, Massimo. If LaFleur, I'm saying it right now live on stream. If LaFleur does not leave Green Bay and gets fired, I will not watch another Packer game, support them in any way, and I'm going to take applications to start liking another team.
Bears will take you. But hey, I can confirm
No chance.
that
Like,
he
I'm
did
going to
text
actually
me.
pick a team that has a shot, like probably like, at least I'll rather go to my Arizona team
Dude,
right
no, this
here.
is the time to jump on the bandwagon, man. I think
No,
it's
I'm not a
beginning.
bandwagon guy. I'd rather go take a perennial loser that's probably going to change tunes. But the
Well, you know what,
Packers
then
are
do it. Hey,
perennial
you could
complacent.
do it for me.
Oh, heck no, bro. There's no chance. I can't
gotta
love
Hey,
a
he did
terrible
text me
franchise.
though. He did text me and was like, "We're screwed." Before the Bears were even up, like he did text me and was like,
I said,
"Yeah,
"See you
we're done."
next year, Bears." Like we're out, bro. I said that to Creecoin as well, Ghost, and I told you before the game,
said
not
it to
before
me.
the game, the day before when we spoke. I was like, "Bro, I'm telling you, Packers are gonna look good. Everything's written for them to win, but for whatever reason, they're gonna choke because Love just isn't clutch."
No, you 100% broke it down. I don't know why. My text never sent back to you. You actually texted me during the game too. You said this is where he needs to do his thing because this is where he typically falls apart. And I got to be honest with you, man. I know you watched every snap of the Packers. Not every snap, probably, but you watch. That's your team. So I imagine you barely miss a play. With me on the outskirts, I haven't watched the whole games, right? Like it's just something I haven't been able to do. I watch my team and I don't miss a snap for my own team, and sometimes they play at the same time. But I'll tell you this much: as an outsider looking in, I don't play the blame game at all when it comes to a team sport like football. It's a 53-man roster. There's special teams, there's defense, there's offense, there's coaching. And then there's officiating. There's 5 elements that really do make a huge difference, as well as the weather. So we can throw in 6 elements.
But coaching, but how much would you give to coaching though? Because to me, everything you said is correct. The only differentiating factor that I would like put there is that coaching, I would argue that it's half, and then the other half are mixed. You percentage however you want.
I think execution's big. I think coaching's huge. I think execution's massive, and it can go both ways. Like there are times where a coach executes the perfect call, like an offensive coordinator calls a great call for the defensive scheme, and then there's times where the offense just doesn't execute. And so again, it blends throughout. I played football for a really long time. I've had horrible coaches, but we've had a good enough roster to make it deep because of athleticism and sheer will, right? Like I look at it like this, for example. Big Ben had a horrible offensive coordinator for a very long time. And when did we do the best? When he'd run up to the line, check out of the play after reading the defense, being like, dilly. He's telling AB, they're playing fucking backyard football, bro. And they're just saying, yo. They got hand signals. You're running a stop and go. Hey, you're running a quick slant. They zone buster, dude. I need you to do your post route, but then turn it into a dig. And you start getting this continuity. And you don't even have to tell the players anymore. They know what you saw. They saw what you saw. And at the line, you're directing traffic. Villanueva, dude. Yo, watch number 53. He's hot. Yo, Pouncy, dog. Push to the left. Keep my pocket clean. You start to really have this continuity, this communication. So that's where coaching is huge because you want to give them the basis. But in the film room, the coaching is supposed to kind of help bring up some things that maybe you overlooked. But it does also come down to execution. And I know that, again, I don't play the blame game. But what I do play is a game called What If? And I looked at it like this. And I said this live during the live stream. I said, you guys, this is a big kick for McManus. Because if McManus makes this kick before the half, they're up 3 touchdowns. That's a big difference. And it's the momentum going into that half. It's a huge difference. Now, here's the deal. He's used to kicking in mile high. I said this all live. He's used to kicking in mile high. This 55-yarder is not a gimme. And he proceeds to kick it, and it's drifting left, and it goes through. And I'm like, yo, why aren't the officials putting up their hands? Ooh, they iced the kicker. Hey, this might very well work in this situation. McManus has already been in his head. He's been missing kicks throughout the year. Again, different elements. He's used to being in mile high, bro. Thin ass air. The ball travels well. You got a leg on him, but I think his leg was masked by being in mile high. This might work. Then I'm watching. He's jogging off the field, bro. He's looking for a ball, frantically looking for a ball. He goes to try and then he looks and goes, oh, it's a 30-second timeout. So then he runs back on the field, bro. And I'm like, this guy was literally so in his head that he was going to try to get a couple kicks as if he didn't just get a free kick that he made. That's how much he's in his head. You guys, he's missing this kick. He proceeds to push it left. At that point, as a Bear, you're like, ooh, thank you. What a good job coaching to ice that kicker. What a great job coaching was to ice that kicker. Execution-wise, Love got him in field goal range, clearly a makeable kick because the dude made it. And then he ends up getting in his own execution and his own issues, and he misses that kick. Now, that wasn't the one that killed it. That gave the Bears in their stadium hope. That was a quiet crowd. In the beginning of the game, they were like, oh, I was calling them terrible towels. I was calling them horrible towels. They had these orange, horrible towels that they were going crazy. I didn't see a Packer fan in the room. I said, it must be because they're wearing the navy blues. You know, the one that I gave to Clutch, because I don't see any fucking yellow. I don't see any green. I see navy blue and orange. Like, wow, did they show up? Then it got deeper because second half comes out. Bro, I missed the missed extra point. I'm over here like, yo, what happened? Did they go for two and miss it or something? As a team that's up, they should have never gone for two. Turns out, no, dude. My boy missed an extra point. And when you miss an extra point, it's catastrophic. See, missing an extra point changes the whole landscape. Because at the end, when you're down 4 instead of 3, and your kicker's already missed 2 field goals and an extra point, which is a total of 7 points, you have to ask yourself, what's the difference? I now, as Jordan Love, with time getting clamped on me, I got to now get all the way to the end zone. Dude, they got to field goal range, but they couldn't get in the end zone. They got to field goal range. That could have been, if he at least made the extra point, it would have been a tying field goal. If he made one of the field goals and the extra point, that could have been them trying to just run the clock out. So there's a big difference, and that's the what-if moment. It's not all on McManus's leg. Like we said, he comes from a different element in mile high, making strong kicks. As Jordan Love sat there, he produced a decent amount of points, had some really good drives, and man, he was dropping bread baskets, bro. They were hitting palms of his receivers' hands, and his receivers just weren't coming down with it. Did he overthrow a couple? Yeah. Could they have been a little bit more in front instead of a little bit behind? Sure. But there was 3 times specifically that he hit not one hand, but 2 hands. And I think, man, yes, Jordan Love was not clutch. And I'll tell you where you can see that he doesn't have the clutch gene. The ball was snapped on the last play of the game, and he drops the fucking snap. Then he proceeds to pick it up, running like a chicken with his head cut off. Starts trying to direct traffic, bro. Bro, everybody's in the end zone, dog. You can tell someone to go this way all you want. You're just going to see more people over there that are on that side of it. Everyone's in the end zone because that's the only way you can win is if you come down with it in the end zone. So that whole like scrambling, it was a 25-yarder. He didn't need to run up to the line of scrimmage and get his whole arm into it. He easily could make it to the end zone. So those are things that I just look at like, yo, bro, what are you doing? You drop the snap, you're discombobulated, you're trying to direct traffic, you're scrambling for unnecessary purposes. The only chance you have is just throwing it up there and hoping that your team, your player comes down with it. There is no secret to the madness. So that did display to me, yeah, my guy's not clutch. For sure he's not clutch. I'll be honest with you. I saw this with Strout last night. This is somebody who is used to playing in a dome. And I talked to Motown before the game. I said, yo, bro, cold weather from a dome team, they're going to have miscues. They're going to drop a third down, a huge third down. They're going to drop maybe even a first down and put them behind the sticks. They're going to put that ball on the ground, bro. And I was right, bro. He dropped 5 snaps Your hands just don't move the same when you're cold, bro. You don't even feel it like that. He fumbled the ball twice and lost both fumbles. He threw a pick. Bro, there was 4 fumbles, bro. And yet we got our asses beat. To me, like you said, I can't even hang this on Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he had a sack fumble for a touchdown and an interception for a touchdown his last basically 2 possessions of his career at this point. But like when you really talk about the schematics here, first he hits DK Metcalf. Second time, hits DK Metcalf's. Third time going to DK, penalty, PI on the defense. What a perfect setup just to sputter out and have to kick the field goal. Then when we get our first turnover of the game, what does he do? Hey, let's take a shot here. He throws it deep to DK Metcalf, who just brick hands it, dog. Both hands on the ball, drops it just flat out, just a drop, dog. A dime. And, bro, Aaron Rodgers, this is where it falls on him. He gets so petty that he decides, I'm not even going to look his way anymore. So for the next 2.5 quarters, he doesn't even throw DK a target. Mind you, his first 3 targets resulted in 3 first downs on the second drive of the game. To me, that's petty. To me, I can't even say bad coaching at that point because I don't know. You're not even looking at him. But where bad execution meets bad coaching, your cookie cutter offense of just quick comebacks, not utilizing the middle of the field. Every time he tries to hit the middle of the field, Texans great defense. They're putting their hands up when they can't get in there. They're collapsing the pocket so bad that he's hitting his own players and getting sacked by his own players backing into him. Like, that was an absolute phenomenal showcase of defense to a team who literally is used to playing in a dome on AstroTurf, playing in nasty field conditions and falling and slipping and falling, but making up for it as soon as the ball is caught by converging. But my goodness gracious, combination of horrifying play calling, not getting Freiermuth involved early, horrible play calling all around by abandoning the run game, even though we were up 3-0, then down 7-3, then down 7-6 in the whole first half when we ran the ball 5 times. And it's not like we weren't getting positive outcomes. 4 or 5 yards on a run ball, dude, that's setting you up for that second and short. No, instead we're getting quick little screen plays that are going for -2 yards. We're doing play action, trying to hit Jonnu Smith in the side, and he doesn't even know the ball's thrown to him. He's like, that was to me. Like, bro, absolutely ridiculous. Losing Darnell Washington hurt, getting DK Metcalf back after 2 games and him most likely being rusty hurt. But fuck all that, bro. Our execution was soft. Watching our plays were garbage. Our offensive coordinator needs to be done with. And I'll be honest with you, dude. Of course, if Aaron Rodgers comes back, dude, with a new offensive coordinator, I would support it because it's my team and I rock with my organization. But, bro, I'm going to keep it a buck, bro. That doesn't give us continuity. We need a new system, like a new offensive coordinator and a new QB, which we have Will Howard, who won a natty. I think he's got what it takes. I think we need to now start getting continuity. Same offensive coordinators, same defensive coordinators, same head coaching, another receiver or 2, because we're not going to rock with Thielen and DK and think we're going to do something. And we need a quarterback to build off of. Until you find your franchise guy, you're going to be in disarray. The Packers did what they can, bro. They got Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is an absolute monster. They got Jordan Love, who's more than capable. Receiving core-wise, Watson's a beast. Dobbs is a beast. But, dude, even on one of the plays Watson was running in the end zone, he put up one arm. Didn't even really go for the ball. It's like they didn't help Love either, bro. Look, man. On one hand, I'm sick to my stomach. My team's eliminated. That shit sucks. But on the other hand, bro, I'm kind of glad it's over because I'm sick and tired of having hope for a franchise that's not changing what they should be changing. They have yet to do anything exotic. I'm like, all right, bro, we got this punter who's super athletic. Like, bro, he's a black punter. When do you see a black punter in the NFL, bro? My dude's an athletic guy, man. And it's not because he's black, he's athletic. He's literally known for his athleticism, making tackles on punts, bro. Like, it's crazy. And we're down 2 scores and we're still punting at midfield. Like, to me, it's like, where's the fake punt? Shit, it's up 7-3 and we're in the red zone. Where's the fake field goal? At least do something other than this cookie cutter bullshit. I give the Texans credit. Even though they had a sack fumble happen from it, they tried a flea flicker, bro, because they had no points and they're trying to get the ball moving. Meanwhile, we got 6 points in the first half of ball, 0 first downs on third down. We haven't done that in the playoffs since 1989. The fuck? And then what are we doing? The same shit the whole second half? 0 adjustments? You're not going, hey, dude, they're getting in there. They're collapsing our pocket. Let's throw some screenplays, some chip blocks that turn into screenplays. Let's throw some quick slants wherever they're blitzing from. Let's run the ball. Maybe do a handoff to Warren, who doesn't end around to Gainwell. I mean, no trickery, no schematic. It was like, no, we're just going to do what we do. We're going to run it up the belly, hopefully get third and short, and convert with Adam Thielen. It's just horrifying, bro. Anyways, last night y'all asked me, is this a football podcast or an on-chain lotto? It was both. Today you're probably going to be asking, is this a football podcast or trading? Cup and handle. I ain't going to talk about football anymore this show. I lied. That's impossible. It's in my genes. But yeah, man, I talked about the platform. Best platform in the game, if you ask me. Clutch, I'm in LA. You spend time in LA. They're not in my conference. I'm going to have to pull for the Rams because, or the Niners, I suppose, because they're 2 teams that are in LA that are not in my conference. I can't have the Niners win. They have 5 Super Bowl rings. That would put them tied with the Patriots and the Steelers at 6. I can't let that happen. So I guess I got to go for the Rams from here on out. I don't know, man. It really sucks.
Or, and hear me out, you could go for the God-fearing quarterback and the team that has God in their locker room. Just so happens to be playing the Rams, too.
I want to ask you a question. How do we know they're God-fearing?
Caleb Williams has been an outspoken Christian for a long time, brother.
Who is?
Caleb Williams. His fingernails. I think we talked about this. It was, and I don't know, it's like his sister or niece or something that has a business. And he was like, finally addressed it after people talking. He's like, yeah. He goes, he's like, I haven't addressed it because it's, it's like, it's irrelevant. He goes, and whatever family member it was has the business, is like, her business is booming. He goes, so basically he's like, I don't care what you think about my fingernails. I do it for my, little sister or little niece, whoever it is. But yeah, he is a God-fearing Christian man. Go back and listen to some of his speeches and stuff. And I will say this though, some of the words after when the one were certainly not God-fearing words. However, I can appreciate that. I think Clutch and I were actually talking about that on our Bible study the other day.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's God-fearing people on every roster, so it's hard for me to get behind Caleb. And it's not because he's zesty, bro. I don't really care what his preference is. The dude balled.
Look, that was just my last effort to try and get you on my side. That's all.
No, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, bro. I mean, look, the Bears, it's kind of like how the Chicago Cubs had the curse, the great Bambino curse for so long, whatever it is, right? It's like the Bears, dude, that's a city that, they need something to roll around. But you look at the Bears, I don't like the way the city's ran. I don't like the way the state is ran. It's
I
hard for me.
concur on both of those.
Yeah, it's hard for me to get behind the Bears, bro. I can't flex. I don't want to lie to kick it. Of course, I would be genuinely happy to see them win because I know the sheer joy. One of my boys, you, the only Chicago Bear fan I know, how happy that would make you. And so, of course, that's not. It's no sweat off my back if they win. But secretly, dude, I've been to a few Rams games. I used to be a diehard Ram fan. I like Matt Stafford. I like Puka. I like Kyron Williams. I mean, again, bro, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, oh my god, the Rams won. No, I don't have that way of feeling that way. If anything, I had a lot of resentment towards the Rams when they left to St. Louis. Not that it's their fault or anything. It's just like I played for the Reseda Rams, bro. Pop Warner, bro, as a little kid, bro. Like I was a Ram fan. I was a Jerome Bettis fan, bro. Like as a little tiny kid, like that, before I even knew the rules of football, bro. My stepdad was a Raider fan, bro, and I did not like the Raiders, bro. I just liked the Rams for some reason. And then the Pop Warner team I got to play for, first time I put pads on, I'm running around like a little kid, dude, was a Rams jersey, right? So I was definitely a Ram fan, growing up. I was a huge fan of Deion Sanders, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Moose Johnson, Troy Aikman, Leon Lett, so I was secretly kind of a Cowboys fan outside of the conference. There's always like one team in a different conference, like not division, but a different conference that you don't mind, pulling for, right? And it's like I played safety. I played both, 3 sports growing up. So I like Deion Sanders a lot, bro. It was so fun to watch. So I kind of secretly would root for them if the Rams were ever, out of it, which my whole life growing up, they were out of it. Like they were out of it. When they played the Tennessee Titans in the Super Bowl, I was actually rooting for Kurt Warner and the greatest show on turf. I was actually kind of rooting for them, but it doesn't feel like a Super Bowl win when it's not your team, right? But most recently when they won, same thing, bro. Like Jalen Ramsey, seeing Cooper Kupp get a ring, Matt Stafford, who's put in work in the NFL, getting shipped off from the Lions to the Rams in a trade for QBs. It was cool to see him get a ring, again, not one of those rings where you're like, yeah, bro, let's go Rams. Like, nah, bro, the godfather of my kids is a Ram fan. I was rooting for them when they were last. It's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I want Christian McCaffrey to get a ring, but man, at what expense? I don't want another team tied with the most Super Bowls than the Steelers have, bro. That's dangerous because then we won't be able to say the one thing we can say is we got the most Super Bowl rings in the NFL. We won't be able to say that any longer now that we're tied with 2 other teams. It's like, that's not saying much, bro. Tied with the Patriots, knowing Tom Brady's at the helm to win most of those. Then he goes and wins one with another franchise. I mean, damn, bro. My dude's got as many rings as our franchise at this point. It is what it is. But I'm going for the Rams, bro. I think the Rams will have a hard time against the Bears. But I think been there, done that type of vibe for them. They're not like you're going to come back on them type of a team. I think the Bears have a little bit of an advantage being at home in that weather, considering the Rams playing SoFi where it's indoor-ish. It's got a little bit of an outdoor breeze to it, I guess you can say, but it's an indoor, it's a dome, it's AstroTurf. It's definitely going to be a huge difference for them. So I think they struggled last week to barely get the win, and I think this week is going to be a really tough task for them. I think the Niners will beat the Seahawks. They're accustomed to playing the Seahawks, and they don't really care where they play. They just played in Philly and acted like it's a home game for them. So I don't know, man. I think we're going to see Niners and Bears or Niners and Rams in the NFC Championship game. I think the Niners have an extra oomph because they're playing in Candlestick for the Super Bowl if they get there. And I think that's a cool story too. I think it's really cool, just like Tom Brady did, bro. You get to play a home game in the Super Bowl, bro. It's only happened once, and he won as a Buccaneer. Yeah, man. I think I think it's going to be a good game. That NFC division round, it's going to be a good game, bro. Bears match up very well with the Niners. You know, the Eagles offense has been hit or miss all year. And if you think about it, bro, they were missing on all accounts against the Niners defense, but the Niners defense is not the Niners defense of old. When you had Bosa going crazy, you had a lot of defensive injuries for the Niners. So I think the Bears can have their way with them offensively better than they had against the Packers. Maybe start off hot, but I don't think that they can afford to start off slow against a Niner team. I just don't. I think they got to play good starting from the top all the way down. Thank you, Sherry. Candlestick does not exist any longer. It is Levi Stadium now. And listen, it's a cup and handle, Sherry. I did it on purpose. Candlesticks. Got to talk about candlesticks at some point. I'm contractually obligated. Okay, Sherry? No, I'm just kidding. I totally forgot. It is Levi Stadium. Yeah. Thanks for correcting me. Gotta love Sherry. She's always on it, bro. I don't know how, but she's just always on it, and I love her for that. Let's talk about trading now. All right, let's talk about trading now. Let's talk about trading. Got 118 people in the room. Now's the time to repost it, quote it, like it, all that fun stuff. If, of course, you're here for the trading side of it. Let's get into my favorite thing to talk about. It's the most boring thing to talk about, but the most important thing to talk about. And it's risk management, accompanied with position sizing. And I want to talk about something very important. Cross margin versus an isolated trade is a lot bigger difference than even I will admit that I gave credit to. With cross margin accounts, we all know that it doesn't matter how much you're risking on the trade. When you're in a cross margin account, you're technically risking the entire account. We know that much. Versus an isolated trade, you're isolated to however much you're risking is how much you're eligible to lose. So we know the difference, the major difference. But within risk management, there's something even more different that even I didn't pay attention to fully until it kept coming back to haunt me, until I finally just made the switch. With Novex.finance, you can deposit money via Solana or via USDC on the Solana chain. When you deposit money, as in Solana, even though it's telling you your value in USDC, it's fluctuating as the price of the underlying is. So when SOL is going up, your account value in USDC is going up with it. When SOL's going down, even if you have no trade open, the value of your USDC goes down. And that is the difference between you putting in Solana as your deposit or USDC. Now, since using Novex, I've always put Solana in because I believe in Solana in the long haul. But what I noticed was I'm waiting for the pullback, right? I'm waiting for the pullback to find the perfect long. My account value is going down as the pullback is happening. And then the perfect long sets up. And I go long. And then it goes up, but not all the way back up to where it was, just up about halfway to it. I get my profits, I close it out. I look at my account balance, and it's up, but it's only up a little bit. In some cases, the fall was so hard My account value dropped even with 0 positions I'm holding so much that even on a 50, 60%er trade that I would do positive in the long, my account balance was still down overall because every Solana I held lost $5, $7, $10. And that essentially put me in a position to where even with positive trades, my account balance was still going down. It wasn't from fees. It was because the underlying Solana is what I deposited. And after probably 2.5 months, 2 months, I finally said, I can't do it anymore. I might as well put the shit in as a deposit for USDC and then take my profits and then wait for Solana pullbacks and just start accumulating Solana on the side, because it's moving my account in a manner to where I'm essentially trading for just enough to not have my account go down in value. And I gotta say, man, I made the switch. And one would argue, damn, worst time ever to make that switch, because Solana went from about $1.25 to almost $1.44 currently. It's $20 per soul, multiplied by however many soul you have, right? That would have been the one time you almost wished you had your holdings in Solana. But regardless, what did it do for me? Well, number one, I no longer was chasing my own tail. I was no longer trading just to make up for what I lost in value on Solana. I also could be said the same for a short. When it is popping and then you finally do take a short, you're just kind of making a little bit of money from the pullback when you would have been just better off letting your Solana be held there, right? There's so many ins and outs to it. So I'll say this much. Since switching over to USDC as the deposit, watching my account balance stay the same when I'm in no trades, making small wins on longs, making small wins on shorts, with the occasional big wins and big wins. I got a pretty decent streak here where I've 4x'd my account in 12 days, 13 days, less than 2 weeks. So when I talk about risk management and I talk about position sizing and I talk about cross margin versus isolated margin, I'm now going to add, if you're trading, it might not be a bad idea to help you further acknowledge and analyze your trades. It might not be a bad idea to literally put it in the deposit form of USDC, of cash. That way you can really see what you're trading. And if you have some profits and you want to withdraw some of those profits and you want to use those profits to buy the underlying, to me, you can still take advantage of the moves, but most importantly, you can really acknowledge your trades and understand what's working, what's not working. Okay? Cross margin accounts can take your whole account. So what do you have to do? You have to ensure that your position sizing makes sense, meaning you're risking up to 5%, maybe 10% max on some of these moves. Because if you notice your liquidation starts to get really close to your entry as you add to a position, or if you start off with risking a lot of a big enough portion of your account value. So let's say you have $1,000 account and you're trading $100 worth on each trade. It's about 10%. Your liquidation won't be too close, but it's close enough. Well, let's say the trade kind of goes against you and you still like it. It's still valid. So you then are ready to do your add. So you add another $100. Well, now 20% of your account is in on one trade. On a cross margin account, that liquidation starts to become very close to your entry price. And when that happens, you take a bigger risk of being liquidated. Where an isolated account, you're doing just $200, that's just the most you can lose on it is $200. There's a big difference there. So when I talk about risk management, I like to just be very clear. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have the credentials to be. So I can't tell you exactly the perfect math or what you should or shouldn't do. I can only tell you what works for me. I got caught slipping a couple times on cross margin because the liquidation also moves when I'm in my Solana long or short, because the value of Solana is changing, and that is the deposit that I was once off of. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't move the same when you are in on USDC. What's settled, what's not settled, irrelevant if you're going in with a small enough position size. And so I threw $300 in an account, just USDC, just to really go, okay, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not compounding like I used to? And I started off with super small trades. Eventually got to 600. Started going a little higher on my trades. Eventually got to 1,000. Started going a little bit higher on my trades. Eventually broke 1,400. And it's only because I'm doing it the right way. Small wins, large wins, or small losses. Now, again, I that's what you have to do, right? A big loss ruins your whole port. Small loss could happen. Small wins add up. And eventually you'll have those bigger wins, right? We have a runner on this one right here. And again, I just kept this runner open so I can show you that you can trade on a 174%. Geez. I kept this one Solana left on this position because I wanted to show you how you can set up a take profit and a stop loss. And again, I can't express this enough. Trading on the chart is massive. So we got a nice little push here. I told you I wanted to be above the or below the 12 EMA just in case, it uses that as support, which we've kind of seen it do so far since reclaiming it. Well, the 12 EMA moved up a little bit, so I can move it up a little bit now. And just like that, it edited it where it moved up my stop loss a little bit higher. So imagine you can just keep following your profits to secure them to ensure that even though it's only one runner left, that I get the most juice out of it as possible. Versus letting it go all the way back down. I want to make sure I capitalize on some of the pullback. But if it continues to push, I still got some skin in the game. Right? Position sizing and account size, it all coincides with risk management. Number one rule of risk management, don't trade with money you need anytime soon. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that if you trade with money that you need anytime soon, you're going to trade different. Psychology will make you go, okay, man, my bill's due here tomorrow. I got to make one good trade before tomorrow. You're going to cut a position early because you're in profits when it could have continued to run, or even worse, you're going to have that position go against you, and then you're going to have to sell it for a loss because you need those resources to pay a bill, right? So just don't use money that you can't afford to lose, and don't use money that you need anytime soon, right? Again, that's not me advising you. That's just common sense. On the flip side of risk management. It's all about the account size that you're working with. Me personally, I like to be no more than 10, 20%, like 20% for a position size. Like that's my all in moment. Meaning I go in a little bit, I add to my position, and I add to my position. But if it's anything more than 20% of my total port, that's no bueno. Not on a cross margin. My liquidation gets way too uncomfortably close. And all it takes is one news event or one black swan event if I'm in a long, or one white swan event if I'm in a short, to really just capitulate. That's all it takes. And it's impossible for you to catch it because when it happens. Right? So that's what I like to do. I like to literally be in a position to where my liquidation is pretty much 110 or lower at this point. That's what I base my cross margin 50x. I base my 10x, 20x, my leverage, and my position sizing. I base it on where I'm comfortable with liquidation zones. So right now for shorts, being at 175 liquidation, I know I feel safe there. With longs, being under 115, 110, I feel safe there. Because even as far as it's dropped to 116 recently, it would be a really big event to get that low, being that we're at 143, sniffing 145 right now, right? So instead of being so hyper-focused on your leverage and so hyper-focused on the size of your position, I like to be hyper-focused on what my liquidation is, because that's more important to me. And if I got to adjust my margin lower or back up to where I like it in order to make sense of that liquidation price zone, then I'll do that. And if I can get a little bit more aggressive with the lower leverage, meaning a bigger position, a bigger size of my port going into a play I like with the lower leverage, I don't mind doing that if I think that this swing will move in a manner for a longer duration of time. Okay? That's big. I wanted to really hit that home for you guys. Now, let's do some TA. Let's give you guys something that you can hang your hats on. So the first thing I like to do is go to the daily candles. And if you know me, you know that I love basing my swing trades off of daily candles. It's one of the most easiest things for a new trader, a veteran, and an all-pro to really understand. You look at each daily candle, and there is a halfway point. It is what I call demand zone. Hold on one second. What's up, baby girl? Hey. I love you. Just coming in to say hi?
Yeah, but I was coming to ask. Can you get that alone?
I can't sure for sure.
I'm back. I
She
came
said-
back, Ghost.
Watermelon. What's up, Clutch?
What up, though? I forgot about the cookie meeting. I thought it was 30 minutes like forward at that time, but no, I was late. So luckily, good meeting though.
Wow, for the first time there's a little role reversal. You were late, dude.
Right, dude. I haven't been late to a meeting in a while, and I was like, damn, about those locos for life.
Fuck those logos for life, man.
I just didn't want to be. It's just so terrible, man.
Hey, bro, but you were probably fashionably late, like I am always, bro. I wear
Yeah.
team, bro. It's always fashionably late, bro. It's like a costume, fool. Were you fashionably late or not? Fool? Was it on Zoom meeting? Did you show your skin, dog, or what? Fool?
It's just, I don't know, man, but the tamales weren't ready, and that just really, like, it just got me going, man.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Man, we're both suckers right now with our team out of the playoffs. It's such
Bro,
a suck.
well, no, I wasn't surprised or butthurt
either,
at all. It was because it was like, bro, it's just so easy to see, like, but I'm just a numbers guy. And when you have a team that literally has been slinging it all year, the only way to defeat them is
Just
to
keep
eliminate, just to keep the ball. So like
Yeah.
they're over here trying to score up freaking 2 touchdowns, bro. Big plays. It's like you got one of the best running backs in the league. The one thing you kind of do have is a line. Even if you're punting every freaking possession, you're taking 3 minutes with you. And if they had just done that one time, game's over,
I
they
didn't
win.
that at all. I was like, yo, bro, they just threw it to stop the clock. And it was incomplete. And I'm just why.
And then
That
they fade it, and then obviously they blitz third down, immediate incomplete because he's got to get rid of the ball. So you barely have 4 seconds exit. It's so bad. So that's coaching, right? And that's why I always tell, like, no matter what, the
coaching for sure.
head coach is 50%. Because what's
It's-
the
it's-
equal? Look, earlier you were talking about like the different phases of the game, right? But what's the one thing that is the common denominator in all phases of the game is coaching calls a play.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
So that's the only reason why it's on LaFleur, and LaFleur is just a terrible play caller when it comes down to like fourth quarters. He has just completely like Rodgers won 13 games 2 years with him because Rodgers was still at the peak of his game, and we had Devontae Adams.
There's a big difference though, bro. Like, I'll be honest, man. Like in the Ravens game, the connection of the headset went out. Aaron Rodgers is like, run it back. I can't hear it. He's like, I can't hear. You can read his mouth. I can't hear. And so he's like, timeout. And we're first and goal. There's 4.5 minutes left, first and goal. And he's just wasted a timeout because he couldn't hear. Man, Ben Roethlisberger would have been like, I can't hear. Run. Fuck it. Hey, listen, huddle up.
We're running this. I like this play today. Yeah, it's been working. These fools are playing back. Let's hit them with an out. A running back, an in route, an in cut here.
What are we talking about?
Boom. Yeah, it's
so here's where coaching gets eliminated off of the headset issue, where Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Big Ben, Drew Brees. I can keep going, bro.
But not Jordan Love. But not Jordan Love, though, right?
So Aaron Rodgers, bro. That surprised me.
Right. And here's the thing, then. That's why that's why I never blamed the LaFleur losses in the playoffs. I blamed them on Rodgers because the coaching didn't frickin' matter when you have to not fumble the snap, right? Like, dude, it's the easiest way to know someone's nervous is with fumbled snaps, right?
Yes.
It's you know this. Quarterback, it's literally like wiping your ass for a quarterback, just catching the snap.
That's why I say Stroud's he got masked with his great defense because the score looks like they put up offense.
No, that was his defense. Hey, who told you that, bro? I warned you, bro. I tried telling you in love, bro. I was like, bro, the Texans are for reals, bro. I told you.
No, for sure, bro. But you got
their defense. I said their defense, actually. Like, dude, their defense is enough to win them something.
Bro, their quarterback fell down, dropped ball by the half. Their cornerback fucking whiffed a hit. Like, there was plenty of times to capitalize against the conditions. They're on their heels for the first time ever because they're in cold weather and the grass sucks. Even their receivers are doing cuts and falling. So we had so much opportunity, bro. But again, in the Ravens game, bro, the helmet goes out. He wastes the timeout. We have now 1 timeout left with 4 minutes and 45 seconds left. And then he gets a new helmet and he's like, press the fucking button. They didn't even connect the headset, so he calls another timeout. He wastes his last timeout because the headset's not working again. 2 plays on goal-to-goal downs. No good quarterbacks doing that. That's coaching, and then there's players. Players play. There's too many greats, bro, that we've been able to bear witness that would have loved their headset to go out. They would have had an excuse to say, forget this. Bro, every time we had last-minute drives with Big Ben, he was loud about it. He didn't like our Matt Canada. He hated him. During press conference was like, no, I called that play. Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I checked out of that play like 6 times. Like, I don't like that play. Not against that defense. And we win the game. And it was like, bro, you need to be the offense coordinator because when there's no huddle and you got your little go-to plays and you know how to extend the play, Big Ben wasn't known for rushing, but he was known for being hard to take down, pocket awareness, extending the play, and reading the defense. And he had players like AB, Le'Veon Bell, tight ends from Heath Miller to Freiermuth to Jesse that he could hit, getting them open, throwing them open, teardrops in bread baskets, bro. Extending the play. The pump fake game was like he had a tennis ball. This guy would pump fake and everyone's jumping and everyone's stopping and he directed the field, bro. Aaron Rodgers at 42 years old, he ain't got that. Jordan Love, he ain't got that.
No. That's why this one's coaching. You can make that different. No, right. And you can make the blame can shift like a hybrid, right? With a lot of different teams, but those are different. Those are rare situations where the quarterback just has a free range. You know, it's funny. Who has more of a free range in Green Bay than Jordan Love? Malik Willis. Bro, do your thing.
Yeah.
If Malik Willis had played the fourth quarter drive, bro, I kid you not, you destroy the kid's psyche by taking him out of the last drive of the game and give it a Malik Willis, but you destroy him either way with your booty ass freaking play calling because the kid relies on you,
right? And
you're calling some straight bull for him.
Yeah.
You got man coverage most of the game, and you're not taking crossing routes nonstop in the second half.
Right.
You did it in the first half, and you shredded them. They kept at it, and you started throwing deep because you got because you're ass, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. This is LaFleur. 100%. It's LaFleur.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing against the Ravens. Like, dude,
and then Love. What think about it? Right, and then the Love thing. When you need him the most, he's just not available. And not that this game was his fault. The bobbled snap, you're rushing. There's 7 seconds, no timeout, whatever, right? That's not on him. But the bobble, if he just grabs it, slings it, they got one more play, then whatever, right? You never freaking know. Lucky BS, Hail Mary. But the whole point is he's just not ready for that.
Even him trying to direct traffic, bro.
Right. He's not available. Yeah, he's just not available, bro. It's where do you think he goes in those moments of the game? Like, oh, well, I'm still an NFL player.
No, he's thinking is the problem. You're right. Like Jordan, Kobe, to them, it's muscle memory. You know, the clock's
go. Remember the fake spikes and throws by Brett Favre?
And
right?
Big Ben
just like Big Ben, everybody started learning it from Dan Marino, right? Like, because Dan Marino used to freaking hit people with it. Like, bro, you're coming up with crap that nobody's ever done. Yeah, because you're just that great. You naturally react, and those are the greatest players.
I'll never forget that game. I was too young to really comprehend it fully, but my stepdad had a bet, and it was like the Dolphins had to win the game, and a field goal would have won the game.
Right.
But he would have lost. He wouldn't have covered, I guess. And that fake spike turned into the touchdown up the sideline, just like Big Ben did with AB. And he was just going crazy, bro. And I didn't understand what the heck it even meant until I got older and was like, damn, the fake spike, that's what that was. So they spike it to stop the clock. I was a Cub, dog. I didn't know much about the dynamics of the game. But, yeah, bro. All right, man. Let's get back to the candles real quick, guys. Yeah. I'm sorry, but this football season, so you're gonna catch us talking about football a lot. Something that I really have been doing this year more than I've ever been doing is basing my trades off of a formula that is a hybrid of things that I've picked up on lately, but also things that I've learned from the greats. Because in my humble opinion, the only way to get good at trading is if you're receptive. And I mean that wholeheartedly. You got to be receptive to people that are trading. Even if they're good, they're bad, they're not good, they're really bad. You have to be receptive. It doesn't just help with sentiment, but it also helps with learning things that could potentially be a game changer. And I'm going to get into some of those things that I'm speaking of. The first thing is something I picked up on personally. I picked up on the daily candle. For whatever reason, the daily candle always has what I call the fair value demand, the FVD, right? The halfway point of yesterday's candle is something that people take very serious when it comes to Solana. I can't tell you it's true all across the board, but I can tell you it's very true with Solana. And I'm going to start with this bigger green candle so you can kind of get the gist of it. On this big candle on January 2nd, I didn't get liquidated taking a short. I didn't get liquidated taking a long. I made money both ways. And I did that live in front of you guys. And what happened is what did I think would happen? We would come down to the halfway point of the candle. The halfway point of the candle is about 129.50. The next day, the 3rd, the low was 129.54. So it was about 4 cents away from hitting the exact halfway point of the previous day candle. Less than a nickel. So what you're able to do in these cases is take a short with confidence, knowing that eventually you're going to hit that halfway point, right? Sometimes they turn into a swing because it doesn't happen the next day. Maybe it skips a day. Maybe it skips 2 days. But it's always coming back around and hitting that. So if you have the proper risk management, I've been able to do what? With no sweat, hold the trade until that happens. And so you can see on this halfway point, it never hit on day 1. But it did eventually hit pretty much on day 2. Then you go to the halfway point of this green candle, and what did it do? About 135, 136. It hit. The low of this candle, 136.06. Then you go to the halfway point of this green candle, and it hit and blew right through it. So if you would have taken a short out the gate, you would have barely had it go against you, and you would have cleared house, been mostly out of it right around here with some runners that you could have gotten some extra oomph on. And then we have the halfway point of this red candle, which is about 138.50, 138.60. Well, the next daily candle did what? Eventually, at some point, hit that halfway point and then some. Because it would have opened up right around 136.25, and it pushed up to the halfway point of 137-ish, no problem. Same with the halfway point of this candle. It cleared, started here, might have went against you, but with the proper position size and risk management, you'd have been able to been adding to this if it was going against you early on, only for it to eventually get there. Next daily candle, halfway point is around 137. The high of that candle was 136.86, 15 cents away. Next daily candle, you didn't have much to go off of, right? The candle base is really tiny. So I had to look at my levels. 136 it was trying to hold. I liked it. I took some longs, and of course we pushed. Well, now the halfway point of this candle came, and that's 137.60-ish. Now, if you're not greedy, you would have been able to get out of your shorts for profits at some point, because the halfway of this candle, low of 138.20, halfway point was 137.50, not quite there, right? But it skipped a day. Like I told you, sometimes it takes a day. You can see today's candle has a low of 137.60, which is dead ass on the halfway point of that previous day candle. So where I'm going with this is, in order for me to get some type of direction at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I'm watching where it closes, the daily candle closes. A green candle, I expect a healthy pullback. A red candle, I expect a healthy pop. It's just what I'm expecting, because I just showed you from recently the biggest green candle we have, but you can go back and you can see that it's doing this almost every time. Even on this big green candle that didn't get pulled back, day 1, day 2, day 3, it eventually did. Even this huge red candle, it didn't get that halfway point the next day, but it did the following day. So if you have the proper risk management, you could have just simply taken trades based off the halfway point of the candle, and you would have been right every single time. It just might have taken 2 or 3 days, in some cases just the same day. So that's number one that I've been hyper sensitive to for months that I've been tracking it. But now I've utilized it to an advantage of, okay, what's my overall sentiment at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time when the new daily candle rolls over? Well, it was a green candle. I expect some pullback. So my longs, I'm pretty much all out of. Maybe a runner or two if it looks like the volume's really still there. And then once it starts to hit one of my levels, I'll for sure exit and then start prepping myself to start going short. Because again, even if it's not the following day, for the most part, the next day it's happening. Rarely I have to skip 2 days for it to happen. And if I have to hold a little longer term, I don't mind, because I can have sub accounts on Novex and still do my typical trades on other trade strategies all I want. But the real reason why I have 0 losses this year is because I've been willing to hold my trades longer based off of that specific outlook. Now, again, that's my overall, how am I looking at it, longs or shorts on this day. The next thing I do is I look at my key levels in reference to those daily candles. And that also helps me with entries and exits. So I know it's a little bit difficult to see with all of these lines, especially considering the daily candles have been obviously a lot bigger than they typically are as far as the candle bases go. But you can kind of see, you can spot a reversal on the daily candle when you have a downtrend and a reversal candle appears for it to then start to push towards that upside. You can also look at pattern recognition and go, okay, it's not the cleanest cup and handle, but it definitely gave us our cup. It definitely gave us our handle, and the handle was right at a moving average. In this case, this is a simple moving average over the course of 50 days. Again, once we broke over the 50-day SMA and held it, which is very close to the 21 EMA, we knew that that's a good sign. It's not in the clear, but it's a good sign because we hadn't done that since November 13th. October 10th, we lost the 50 SMA. Sorry, we haven't done that since October 10th. We lost the 50 SMA on October 10th, and never once did we even tap it until we finally tapped it and closed above it. And since then, if you've been taking longs every time it hits that area, you would be making money. Every time you wait patiently for it to come close enough to the SMA, you would have had a nice pop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 for 4, just based off of it. Okay, it's finally back above a moving average that it hasn't been above since October 10th, 3 months ago. And it's now coming back to test it, and it's holding. If it doesn't hold, it's an easy fold. I can close my trade out. It's no longer valid. But if it does hold, it's an easy print. So that's 2 strategies right there that I'm telling you have been working to a T. Undefeated on those 2 strategies. Once again, I'm taking longs and I'm taking shorts. Those are 2 ways I've taken longs and shorts. Now, back to our key levels, we know 145 has been as stubborn as it gets. We talked about this on Trade Talks. Not one daily candle has closed above 145 since losing it on November 13th. Not one. We've had 3 candles wick above 145, but not one daily candle has closed above it. So as you approach 145, it's also been an easy short. Because even though we're back up right around that same area, almost forming a double top at 145, we've also had a huge pullback that day. Again, this is daily candles. Now we drop to our 4-hour candle, and it starts to open up a little bit more. Because again, what did we have? A golden cross on January 5th. Now, this is a golden cross on a 4-hour. It doesn't hold as much weight as a golden cross on a daily, but in order for the daily golden cross to happen, the 1 hour has to happen first, then the 4 hour starts to happen, then maybe the daily will come afterwards, right? No guarantee, but that's what we're seeing history kind of form. Well, golden cross took place. If you're patient and not chasing it, you wait for it to test the moving average. It tested the moving average, at 4 o'clock in the morning on January 8th. 132.50 was its low. And what did you get? A nice bounce. And if you accumulated around that moving average like I did, once again, when it finally reclaimed it, it gave you another pop. And if you would have done it a third time, which is what I did do, that's why you see your next pop. Once again, there's pattern recognition like cup and handles, but there's also moving averages. They're a lagging indicator as we talk about, but it still tells you like, hey, I don't want to be in a long too far away from this moving average because I eventually know it's going to come down and test it. So the perfect short is 145 where it keeps having a hard time getting above and holding above. And then I'm taking those shorts down to a moving average. And I'm rinsing and I'm repeating. But eventually I'm going to be wrong. Eventually it is going to break 145. If you believe in Solana, eventually that's going to happen. And when that does, it's an easy fold because now no longer can that be true. There's finally a daily candle that closes above 145. When I could say that verbally because that's what happens, then my whole trade strategy now is adjusted. Right? Now I have to adjust. One, is it a deviation? Is the next day going to just close below it and then we're back to the normal? That's our rejection zone. Or two, is it now officially holding 145 as support, reaching towards the psych level of 150? Right? These are things that in real time I'm going to register that are going to help me determine which side of the trade do I want to be on. Do I want to be patient and wait for longs because I'm overall bullish, or do I want to play some shorts to get to that point where I can then flip into my long to then profit off both sides? That's the only decision I'm going to have to make. Now, these are things that I've picked up on, that I've kind of learned. TA is very important. Taking the time to actually make your chart make sense to you is very important. I talk to Motown all the time, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's right at my fib level. Well, yeah, Fibonacci levels are going to coincide with daily levels, weekly levels, monthly levels. That's why they're there. Right? The Fibonacci starts to happen after you see the price action in order to know where to start your fibs. And it's because of a daily candle, a weekly candle, a monthly candle, an hourly candle, a 4-hour candle, a 12-hour candle, a 3-day candle. These days and weeks and months and hours absolutely start reacting at certain areas. And then they become the fibs when you know where you're starting, your beginning, and your end. And then they become even more respected. And that's why you see these lines actually do some work. You can see the psych level of 145. It kept rejecting until it finally broke above. It failed to hold, and now we're back above it. But you can scope out and you can see what are the main levels. 134. We broke above it. We held it. We came back to test it. We held it. 134 seems to be good support now. So yes, if it comes to 134 again, I want to grab some longs personally. On the flip side, the next level was the 136. It broke above it. It couldn't hold it right away because it had to still hold the 134, but it did. Then it broke back above it, and it struggled to, but it did. It held the 136 on the 4 hours. And what do you get? You get your next push, and now it's trying to hold 138, which so far it has done so. Next test, we got to hold the 140, and maybe then we can blow through 145 because we now are pinching our support and raising it higher and higher. And the closer it gets to 145, the higher the likelihood of you finally breaking through 145. But they're stair-stepping it. 134, support. 136, support. 138, so far support. 140, yet to test and hold it. Well, we know it's a huge green candle on the daily. We know that they're going to have to test 140 to at least ensure it is support. And the halfway point as of now is above 140. That's bullish for me and my trade strategies. But that doesn't mean I can't take advantage of a short to come and test those zones at some point, especially if it continues to reject 145. Taking a short here is easy for me because if it breaks above and holds above, then all right, cool. I can close it out, no problem. But I know one thing's going to happen. It's going to test the halfway point of this candle. I just don't know where the halfway point is. This halfway point never got touched until today. That's why I have that dotted line that you'll see. Now, eventually, I'm going to move this to the halfway point. And if it's above levels like 140, that's huge. That tells me with everything in my body, the chances of us losing 140 are slim, which means the chances of us breaking 145 are higher. Now I no longer have the confidence to short at 145 like I've been able to do this entire time. These are things that you pick up on when you study what the candles are doing, what the price action is doing at certain levels. So take your time and go into it going, hey, let's go to the monthly candles. And let's take the top of every monthly candle and the bottom of every monthly candle. And let's put a horizontal line. I got 295 on the wick being its all-time high. No problem. I also got a 265 that pretty much was hit once. But if I go just a little lower, I got a 255, which is clearly a massive zone. We rejected it one time in 2021. We rejected it one time in 2024, in which we dropped all the way down to 170, an $80 drop before jumping back above it. And then again, we dropped below it after coming up and testing it a third time. So I know that 250 zone is a huge area. 255, 260 is a huge area. So monthly candle wicks, monthly candle bases, bottom of red candles as support, tops of green candles as resistance. And I put them in blue so that I know what they represent. Blue lines for me tell me their monthly high of 2024. Dark blue, March 2024's close. 4 times in 2021, it was our resistance, the 209.49. March 24th, it was also our resistance. And I could actually add to that because back in September of last year, it also became a resistance point. And then in October, it became a resistance point. So 8 times we've came up to this 209.49 and completely faltered from there. That's the first way I start my lines in the sand, my monthly levels. And then they become key levels. Then I go off of weekly levels. Same rules apply. I do the tops of the weekly levels, the bottoms of the weekly levels. And I turn those white so that I know W for weekly, W for white. Right off top, when I see it, I know 100% I'm going to be focused on those levels a little bit more than a daily level or an hour level. Hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, I'm back. So weekly levels, I do the same. I just make them white instead of blue so I can just remember off default when I see them that that's what they represent, okay? And you can see it here, for example, right there. Weekly close twice. This is a blue line, so it's my monthly close. Here's another weekly close. And typically, across the board, it's blue writing. Typically, my dailies are teal. Okay. I just changed a couple to make sure y'all can see, but here's another daily close. So I do the same thing for monthly, weekly, and daily. The tops and the bottoms, the resistance, the support, and I do that across the board. Not just from there, but I do it for everything I trade. Every time I'm in a trade, I know what levels I'm coming up on. Let's take away these for a second. This is a great sign on a weekly level when you start to get this nice curl, but I can't get too bullish because we've had this before. Only to falter right before we broke 200. So I look at little things like that, you guys, when I trade. I think TA is something that's underrated. A lot of people have asked me, can I have your levels? And that's lazy. Wanting my levels is lazy. You don't know what my levels represent if I just give you my levels. You can chart the same way I charted. You hover over the candle and you can say, okay, the high is 144.50 on this 4-hour candle. So I could make a horizontal line and say, here's my high of this daily candle. You can do these things yourself. You don't need my levels. Okay. Now, one thing I want to add that goes back to the beginning of this whole conversation I was having about being receptive as a trader. Not thinking you're high and mighty and you're the best trader of all time, but instead being receptive is probably the one reason that I've been extra successful recently off of my trading. And it's because I'm receptive. I'm willing to learn every day something I may have been overlooking or didn't even know existed in some cases. And that's going to be something I learned from Clutch, who's up here today. It's the USDT dominance. This is where money is, right? Money is is on the sidelines when it's not in your favorite altcoin. You have Bitcoin, which holds about 59 to 60% of all of crypto. You have Solana, which just broke 2.5% for the first time in a while. You got, Ethereum, you got BNB, you got, the list goes on, right? You have these altcoins. But you also have what's called USDT. And that's when people don't have their money in a specific coin. They're not holding Bitcoin. They have it on the sideline. And they're waiting to deploy it where they believe it's going to be a good move for them. So understanding USDT dominance is half the battle. And then guess what you can do? You can chart it the same way you chart everything else because they coincide with one another. If Solana's going down, USDT is probably going up. If Bitcoin's going down, USDT is probably going up because they're taking the money off of the chain and they're putting it somewhere. And then from there, guess what? Sometimes you can get an extra tell. If Bitcoin dominance is going down and USDT is going down, then that might show you that money's getting flooded into the altcoins. And depending on your levels and depending on the momentum, you might be able to make some money off of that move just by identifying that. So we charted this the moment I really started understanding USDT dominance. I started charting it. I'm going to start off with the weekly. The weekly level was huge for me because I started to notice something on the weekly level, that it was in this massive uptrend on the weekly, massive. And I could take away these lines. You can see it was just until it finally what? Broke down. And on this screen on the weekly, you can see I did two things. I wrote a red arrow that would come down, come up to test it if it lost it, and then drop significantly. But I also said if it holds it, it's going to test the all-time downtrend, and it's going to test it as a hold, and then it's going to push to the upside. That was what I said would happen. It's not me predicting it. It's just me saying, look, we're either going to break up, hold it, and push to the higher highs for USDT dominance, meaning more people are going to take their money and hold it on the sidelines. Or if we finally lose this weekly uptrend, then reject it, there's a chance that we're going to get a nice push. And that's what you see the latter of the two happen. It rejected it after losing it, and it's been in a free fall ever since. Now you can go to the daily candles and you can see it a little bit more in live time. I said if we hold and break above, we come down and hold, we're taking off. Or again, if we lose this uptrend, hold the 50 SMA perhaps, then we'll come back up and test that trend that we just lost. Then we can see it fall down. And look at how it followed this drawing. This drawing was done December 28th. And I have not altered it. I just said this is what we can see happening if it loses it. This is what we can see happening if it goes up. So yes, I've been more bullish since the USDT lost its uptrend, because that means people are taking their money out of USDT and buying shit. Solana being one of the bigger recipients of it in regards to its percentage gain. But of course, Bitcoin being the juggernaut, that's clearly seeing a huge bounce from its recent lows. Back up to 94K right now. So what you see on the screen is also some horizontal lines. Well, these were big lines, 6.5%. We lost it, never really closed above it, which is why it was one of my lines. And that was one of my consensus. If we break above 6.5%, come back to hold it, we're going to be in trouble. Instead, we never broke above it since losing it with steam the first time around. Now, this dotted line that we see here was just a recent 2-wick touch. It's not an actual trend yet, but I was saying this is a trend that could potentially be something to keep an eye on. It still hasn't formed a full trend, but it is something of interest to look at. That's where it rejected. So it didn't quite get up to 6.5% before rejecting. The next support I had was 6.29%. Why was it support? We broke it after resisting it. We tried holding it. We lost it. We rejected it. We rejected it. We broke it, deviated instantly. Came up, tested it, came up, tested it, came up, broke it, held it as support ever since. Well, it took us losing the downtrend, rejecting the, losing the uptrend, rejecting the uptrend, holding it still before we finally what? Lost it. This is what made me bullish on the 2nd of January. You lose 6.29%, 6.3%. You rejected it after losing a downtrend and rejecting that. That's good news for bulls. The USDT started to fall. Then it lost the next support, which was 6.18%. As you can see, rejected it, broke above it, failed to hold, rejected, failed to hold, broke it, failed to hold, rejection, 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 rejection. 7 weeks of rejecting before breaking it and then it becoming its ultimate support. Until when? Until we finally broke the downtrend, broke the uptrend, rejected the uptrend, came down, couldn't hold one level, couldn't hold that second level, lost it, rejected it, which happens to be right where the 50 SMA is. Then what happens from there is 6% has been our support. Rejection, 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 broke it, support, 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 broke it, rejected it, broke it, support, 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 lost it, rejected, rejected, broke back above it, and never got close to it ever since. finally, it was support still on the 4th of January. But when it lost it on the 5th of January, that was a good sign. Because now what did we do? We came back and tested that 6.2% and lost it. Failed to reclaim it. Now we tested the 6 again, held it momentarily, and lost it a second time. That's bullish for altcoins and Bitcoin. But now, why 145 seems to be even more of a struggle bus? Because we know that 5.8% has also been support. Where? Daily candles. Held it on the 9th and 10th of December. Held it back to back on the 4th and 3rd of December. Held it on the 28th of November. And after breaking it, held it on November 20th. We have yet to have a daily candle close below this 5.8. That's why I have that in the sand. If we close a candle below 5.8, that's a support that it's losing. I expect the pushback up to test it as rejection, which coincides with my daily reads on why they're doing these things, testing the halfway point. They're testing the halfway point, just like USDT dominance is testing its former support zones and turning them into resistance zones. Now, if we lose 5.8, then the next one's the 5.7. Why is that huge? Because daily candles were never closing above that level. They were wicking hard off of it. And I don't think it was just then, but it was a lot of other times daily candles were doing this. And I'm sure if we go to weekly candles, you'll see even more of that. 5.7 broke it on the 9th of May in 2022. Held it, and held it in August of 2022. When it finally lost it in December of 2023, it bounced off of it pretty hard. Don't get it twisted. But when it lost it on February 5th of 2024, the bull run was there. Massive. Came up, rejected it, was above it momentarily, only to reject it again hard, and another run proceeded to happen, hitting its lifetime trend. Rejected off of it hard, deviation, another run. In 2025, this happened. In 2024, this happened. And in early 2024, this happened. So 3 times it's lost this 5.7 and given us a bull run. I will start being very bullish if that happens. Like, it's no longer see green, take green, see green, take green on my longs. It's like, all right, I can actually start to position myself for a longer swing. Let my money work for me. The stream's gone on for almost 2 hours. We talked football for about an hour of that. We're talking charts and what have you for the other hour. I'm up 187% on this little runner of mine. I'm going to be closing out my runner now. I'll tell you why. Give me a second. There we go. I'm closing out my runner, not to say that it's not going to keep pushing at 188%. I'm closing it because it literally is having trouble where? At this 143.74 zone, right? So it's simple for me. That's a maximum reward for me, because if it breaks above and then it comes back down to test it as support, I could re-enter my longs and I've secured my profits from the previous long. But I also like a short right here. And it's not right here right now. But again, my daily candle setup is happening very, very well. Where my halfway point of this daily candle right now as we stand is around 141.50-ish. So I will be starting to get into some shorts pretty soon here throughout the day. I'm most likely going to start, if it rejects 145, will be where I start my short at some point today. I'd be adding at the 146.37 marker. And then my last add would be at a 148 marker for my 3 zones to add. I'd want to make sure that my liquidation is well above 175. So I have no worries about liquidating my whole account. But even if we close the daily above 145, which we have not done so since November 13th, then I still have my play to where as it comes back to test 145 as support, I can then, of course, do what? Get out for a profitable trade. Right? Now, I'm premeditating my trade based on what's been working. Daily candles, holding support, holding resistance, halfway points being met a day, 2 days, 3 days later max. So if I got to swing it, I'll swing it. I'm also basing this trade off of USDT's dominance, considering right around 5.87. If it continues to fall, I do expect a lot of support there. So even if we've lost the 6%, what does it typically do when it loses a support? It comes up to test it and turns it into resistance. So if and only if we get that test of resistance and it does resist, then it's bull season for a little longer, right? We can hold our longs a little bit longer than we typically were doing. We can play the field a little bit more aggressively, but we're still having to have the same risk management in order to ensure that one trade doesn't take away weeks or days of great trading. Big YOLO has a space at noon today. News just came across the wire that Tomlin is out. Trusted source or what? I hate that he went out that way. It's so fucked.
Nope, not allowed, bro. 20 push-ups.
Man, oh man, let me tell you, bro. That's like legit, bro. Like I grew up on Cower and I blended to Tomlin. 19 years of my life, bro. More than half my shit, bro. More than half of my fucking life watching this sport. Tomlin's been my head coach. That's just crazy to think that my dude's definitely stepping away, man. Well, I'm glad he stepped away. I'm glad that it was mutual. hearing fire Tomlin in the chat in the crowd, like Pittsburgh, you guys don't even deserve Mike Tomlin. You really don't.
Is it official?
It's official.
That's a dude. The Packers should just dump freaking this one and go after Tomlin immediately. I'll take him over Harbaugh.
It's going to be very hard.
I like Tomlin. I didn't know that was official, bro. That's crazy.
Why did he step? Was it pressure, or he's just kind of like, dude, just
bro? You have the Pittsburgh fucking fan base. You fucking morons.
They're on his ass.
Fire Tomlin during a regular season game. Mind you, we won the division that same year. You're screaming fire Tomlin.
Right.
Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Bro,
he gets people to come play for Pittsburgh because of Tomlin, not because of the freaking team.
You think people want to move to Pittsburgh to play football in the outdoors, bro? In that weather? Or you think they come there because of Tomlin, bro? This is how dense people are. Look, bro, I don't know if he had enough power.
It's the legacy and the coach.
I don't know if he had enough power under the Rooney's to make decisions like, I want this DC, I want this OC. Because it seems like he didn't have that much pull when it came to that. Omar Khan, we call him the con artist. That fool's sick with it, bro, when it comes to bringing in talent. But this was an off year for him. You know, we made decisions the year prior where we got Justin Fields, bro. And instead of like rocking with dude, oh shit, Russell Wilson. Oh my God, we get a chance to get him for free. Let's get him. And then you got this decision to make. Who am I playing? Who am I not? Like, it's stupid, bro. It's buffoonery, bro. And if you ask me, Pittsburgh, you don't deserve Tomlin anymore, bro. Like, how you can turn your back on a coach that got you a ring. How you could
didn't he get two or only one?
No, Coward got one. He got one.
Oh, that's right. Coward got one. He got one. That's right.
He lost one to you guys.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, man, like to turn your back on him during the season, on a season in which he became the AFC North champion for the first time since 2020, dog, is just buffoonery, bro. They don't deserve him, dog. Now, I don't even know who the heck our head coach will be, because you got to understand the franchise, man. We had Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. Like, those are the three head coaches that we've had for over 20 years apiece, pretty much. I don't know. I don't even know what that means for our franchise. I like Tom.
Tomlin. That'll be all right.
No, I mean, dude, it is what it is, bro.
Y'all got good ownership.
Yeah, he's the type of coach that wherever he goes, I like that he's gracefully retiring, quote unquote, because he probably will take a year off, dude. It's been a lot of pressure on this guy and getting no love, putting together rosters and doing his part. Could he have done better? Yeah, I've always disliked his time management. But other than that, there's no stain on his resume, bro. Yeah, he hasn't won a playoff game, and that's 7 in a row we've lost. Definitely sucks. But he's had, since having no Big Ben, he's kept us in relevance the entire time. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen next season. We're in shambles, and we probably won't have a winning season. And all this whole, what's so good about a winning season? Hey, I'm sorry, bro, but when I watch my team play, more times than not, they win. I like to experience that. I'd also like to experience some Lombardies. Don't get it twisted.
Right. But damn, at least win. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. What the fuck, dude? Who wants to watch their team go 3-12? The fuck? I don't know. I've never experienced that. I've never had to experience that, except for when I was a kid, when we had Neil O'Donnell and Maddox and these goobers behind the center trying to become NFL athletes. I never experienced that before. So now I know I'm going to experience that, because this guy Tomlin, at least we won more times than we lost when I put the Steelers on TV, bro. Not many franchises can say they can say that for 19 years in a row. In fact, I can argue maybe not one franchise in history or in the last 19 years has been able to do that. I don't know if that's a fact, but I would argue that's probably a fact. Seeing that the Chiefs just lost it, knowing that the Patriots lost Brady at one point and lost that winning record shit. I don't know if there's any other franchise that has gone 19 years in a row like us during that same time frame. Because I would imagine they would start saying that Well, it's not like he's the only one. There's also this team that's done it with 3 different coaches. No, he's the only coach that had the active streak. And what a better way to step down. Yeah, you guys think it's me is the problem? I retired gracefully. Maybe I want to be a dad for a little bit and not coach. And then when someone in the NFL wants to come and approach me with some big ass money and I could turn their franchise around, I'll do that shit. Because you got to think, oh, you inherited a Super Bowl winning team. Come on, dog. We didn't have Palomalo anymore. We didn't have Ryan Clark anymore. We didn't have Ike Taylor anymore. We didn't have Brett Kiesel anymore. We didn't have Timmons anymore, Lawrence Timmons. We didn't have Joey Porter anymore. Bro, we didn't have Santonio Holmes. We didn't have the same exact roster, bro. The second time he got us to the promised land. So, yes, majority of the team we won that ring with did come from some of the same players. But, bro, he also got us back years later with completely different people. So, fuck off, dude. I hate the fan base. If there's one thing I will tell you flat out, like the fan base in Pittsburgh, y'all need to get your shit together. Hating on who you have during an active season is garbage, bro. You got to at least fucking let them finish out and then do away with what you feel. But don't sit there screaming, fire your head coach during a regular season.
Yeah, that's for Philly fans, damn it.
Yeah, that's for Philly, bro. For real, dog. That's the same state, though. So I guess I don't know. I've never been there before, so I can't knock their hard work ethic.
You're supposed to be the yin to the yang, bro.
Yeah.
But instead, you go ratchet.
Yeah, fuck them, dude. You're supposed to be the one that's like, yo, dude.
For Green Bay, the issue is the team makes it to the playoffs. Everybody got their share. They made money. They're happy. That's the sad reality in Green Bay. So, eventually, right? They'll kind of start. They're turning that side to going after free agents, going after trades, because you have newer guys that they don't really care about the money. They need the glory. So Green Bay is going to start making a couple of extra little splashes, and depending on who they get as coach, I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure LaFleur is going to be done.
Yeah.
LaFleur's just not your guy. You cannot be 13-3 this many times, this many playoff games, this much success. It's just obvious he's not the guy.
No,
Jordan Love's going to 0 if they keep LaFleur.
I'm with you 100% on that. Like literally 100% on that.
Yeah, our defense is fixed. Our new D coordinator is a beast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
there's potential.
Side done. There's no way you come out of that. You got to start somewhere, and you go with coach versus player. Real quick, you guys. In 2 minutes.
Oh, we weren't live. I thought we were live. My bad.
You said what?
I said I thought we were live. My bad.
Oh no. In 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, we have an on-chain lotto that is officially starting. I want to break down those rules so anybody here can absolutely take advantage of them. "60-second countdown." So this is an on-chain lotto, first and only of its kind. You're going to start to see some buys start coming in here in just a moment. And what's going to happen is individuals that are in the community already know how it works. But I'll break it down for you just in case it's the first time for you. There's 243 of you currently watching. I just quoted this particular post with all the rules. It's a very simple concept. You don't have to connect your wallet. You don't have to register. You use whatever wallet you use to buy your meme coins that you've been buying, whether it's Phantom, Soulflare, whatever you use. And you take the contract address for the AF token, this one right here, and you just buy $30 worth of the token. And here's where it starts getting the volume. $30 of buys does something for you. It gives you a lotto ball. And that lotto ball has the potential to get you paid. You can literally hit the lotto. And I want to break it down so you understand. The $30 tier, okay? the $30 tier, has a jackpot of 5.5 Solana or 7.5 million AF tokens, which is over $400 by the time we run the game. 5.5 Solana or 7.5 million AF tokens gets you, that's off of a $30 buy. Now, off default, when you buy a $30 buy, you also get a $15 tier and a $5 tier, meaning Lotto Ball, which is 3.25 Sol or 5 million AF tokens and or 2.3 Solana and 1 million AF tokens. And you can see the buys are already coming in. So what happens when you buy? Let's say it's the first time you've played this game. Again, you don't have to connect your wallet. You don't have to register. You don't have to do anything but just buy that particular token. You'll see the last 6 digits, just like Dex screener shows. You'll see the last 6 digits of your wallet appear underneath the Lotto Ball that you're assigned. It is based on a chronological order. It reads the blockchain, and it instantly puts your wallet address, the 6 digits, underneath the Lotto Ball. So as the buys are coming in, you can see the numbers underneath the Lotto Ball show up. That means this is the number that you're rooting for. Because if that number hits, you're either getting the AF tokens or the Solana. There's 3 tiers. It's all about the minimum purchase. If you buy only $5, you're eligible to win 2.3 Solana or 1 million AF tokens. If you buy $15 worth, well, guess what? It's a minimum of 15 and a minimum of 5. So you get a Lotto Ball here and a Lotto Ball in this one, meaning you're eligible for 3.25 Sol if your number hits here, or 5 million AF tokens. You're also eligible for the 2.3 Sol and the 1 million AF tokens. So you can see there's already been 10 buys of $15 or more and 9 buys of $30 or more. This is how fast this game starts to move. And you can see the buys that come in on the DEX as soon as this game starts. People will sell what they had, $30 worth, just to turn around and buy a $30 ball. As long as you're holding the Lotto Ball at the time of the drawing, you're good to go. You're eligible to get paid. So it's really, really simple. You can go to justthelotto.com if you like. When you get to the justthelotto.com, at the very, very top, you'll see where it says On-Chain Lotto. You click on On-Chain Lotto, and it takes you to this page here where you can see how many slots are available and, of course, which Lotto Ball number you end up getting assigned. How do you see what Lotto Ball you got assigned? You just simply click on View Draw. And again, when you click on View Draw, the last 6 digits of your wallet address will appear, and that'll tell you, okay, cool, I got the number 10 ball, or cool, I got the number 6 ball. Once one of these tiers are full, the night of, so if it fills out today, then tonight, you'll see us turn on the live stream with the machine that's right there behind me. That'll shoot around some balls and it'll eject the number. If a jackpot ball or a double jackpot ball comes out first, then the prize is Solana. 5.5 Sol, 3.25 Sol, or 2.3 Sol. That would be the prize that we're then spinning for. So again, first ball comes out jackpot or double jackpot. Means no difference. That's the jackpot ball for the on-chain lotto. Those prizes would be airdropped to you, so you could be anonymous. They'll be airdropped to you if the ball that comes out after the jackpot is your number. Now, of course, if the jackpot ball or double jackpot ball doesn't come out, there's a 2 in 73 chance that it does. One can say a 1 in 46.5% chance it hits, right? 36. Let's just say one of those two balls doesn't come out and it's the number 4, then each tier will get paid the AF tokens in that tier. So again, the first spin is not a jackpot or a double jackpot. It's a number 1 through 69. Then the rewards will be airdropped in the form of the AF currency coin itself. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you are the number 10 ball and the number 10 ball comes out first, then you're obviously going to get, whoever this wallet address is, will get airdropped the 7.5 million AF tokens. Now, there's 2 other balls. They're the balls that actually help build the jackpots faster. No matter what, after each tier, we're either adding AF tokens or adding Solana, and in some cases, adding both. If a 0 or a double 0 comes out first, or if it comes out after the jackpot ball even, there are no airdrops this round. The following day at 12 o'clock p.m., it starts over. Now, we no longer wait for a list to be filled. If it doesn't fill by tonight, then tomorrow night, no matter what the amounts are, we're spinning it regardless, no matter what. So all you got to do is stay tuned. When you go to justthelotto.com and you click on the on-chain lotto at the very top and you get to this page,
Hey, Ghost. You mind if I interject really quick?
Of course not.
So I didn't realize until I saw your post this morning, but I hit that 1 million last night.
That was your wallet, POH?
That was, yeah, that's one of my Novex wallets actually. But I mentioned that because, and if anyone wanted to go ahead and look and follow up, they would notice that there was a sell and then a buy on the Lotto chart in that wallet with those winnings. So just wanted to let you know it ended up in good hands, brother.
Let's go, dog. That's the way people are playing it, right? You know, you already have the Lotto AF tokens from the last on-chain Lotto, right? So let's say you bought $30 worth of the on-chain Lotto and you didn't hit this round. Okay, no worries. You sell the $30 next round, and then you buy those $30 back, and now you just got 3 different numbers for 3 different tiers. Cost you what, $3? You know what I mean? Imagine.
Yeah, no, I took the earnings from it, threw it into the Lotto chart, which at this price right now is the easiest slap ever, and then I got the rest. I haven't hit AF with it yet. I knew it started at noon, and I did that this morning. So when I'm out of here in a few, we'll be replenishing to win again.
Hey, congrats to you, bro. I didn't know that was your wallet. Let's go, bro. This is the best part about being anonymous too, you guys. Like, you can be like, yeah, I just hit the Lotto, but you can also be in the cut and be like, nobody knows my wallet, so I buy, and then I see if I hit, and if I hit, I don't want anyone to know I hit. You could be anonymous too. That's what I like about the game. It keeps the vibe of crypto where it's at. So even if you don't like AF coin, even if you don't like Lotto, and you just like our trading, but you want to hit the Lotto, all you got to do is buy $30 worth of AF tokens, $15 worth of AF tokens, or even just $5 of AF tokens. And based on what your minimum purchase is, gives you a chance at these tiers. My whole thing is if you spend $30, you get 3 different numbers in this case, all across each tier for $30. So you don't just have a 1 in 73 chance of hitting here, which is either 5.5 Solana or 7.5 million AF tokens, but you also would have a chance to win 3.25 Solana here, along with 5 million AF tokens for that same purchase. And then you would also have 2.3 Solana and 1 million chance in this one. So the next purchase would get the 11 ball for the $30 tier, the 11 ball for the $15 tier, and then the 12th ball for the $5 tier. So you would want the number 10 or the 11 to come out during the drawing. And you know if one of those 2 come out, so you just cut the chances in half. You gave yourself double the chances at that point by doing it that way. And there's a lot of soul in each one of these wallets. You will see occasionally an AF wallet sell. It starts with AF and ends with AF. You'll see 3 of those wallets selling every once in a while during this event, because what we do is we sell a little bit of the AF coin that we just got in the reflections for the Solana so we can continue to move this up. When we started, it was 1 SOL. It's up to 5.5 SOL. And if you've been around us for the last year and a half, you know eventually the jackpot hits. So you're going to want one of these balls. A $30 buy, if you don't win, you sell it for $27. You're basically saying, hey, here's $3. Maybe there's a chance at 5.5 SOL. And if you do it right, where you're buying early on in the game, chances are you can actually sell it and maybe even make money on that lotto ball you bought, because if the price per token's high enough, you might even just break even or make money off of it. So you really have no risk to play the game, but a couple bucks tops, especially if you're playing the $5 one. You're losing 50 cents. Worst case scenario, you're losing 50 cents. And you have a chance to make 2.3 Solana or 1 million AF tokens valued at $50. I mean, look, I'm not here to sell you on how ridiculous and easy it is, but I'm here to tell you how ridiculous and easy it is. Right now, we've been pretty much filling out the $5 tier like clockwork, and that's when it was only at a SOL. The $5 tier is at 2.3 Solana right now. Eventually, people are going to understand me buying $30 is absolutely worth the chance at 5.5 SOL. Somebody was quick enough to buy the number 1 ball last time, which was Dante, and he didn't hit the jackpot, but the number 1 ball came out, so he hit the AF pot, which was 18.5 million tokens. That's almost $1,000 worth of money, bro, that he received off of a $30 buy. That he was able to sell his $30 afterwards if he wanted to anyway, which means he risked $3 worst case scenario for $1,000. That's what? Like 30x'd his money, or the fuck? Like, I don't know, man. All I'm saying is the rules are easy. No security issues. You literally just slap the chart from your own wallet. You don't have to do much of nothing else, but just have fun. Enjoy the game. Big YOLO, I'm told yet again that Big YOLO has a space at 12 o'clock today. Appreciate you updating us. I am going to end this stream real quick so I can go cut some watermelon for my daughter. She's really wanting some watermelon, and I'm the best watermelon cutter on this side of the Mississippi, apparently. So I'm going to go cut her some watermelon. In the meantime, I'll be up on Big YOLO space shortly after I get caught up with a few things. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. A lot of things going on right now with Sol, like the movement of it. But I do expect some pullback, short-term pullback within the next day or two, unless we can break over that 145 and really hold it for once. So I'm out of positions right now. I closed my last little bit of my long right here on the last 1 hour candle at 143.70. We're at 144.15 right now. So it's looking good all around for Sol. But again, we definitely got to break that 145 marker for me to start really getting excited again. Right now, it's still right between that realm of 120 and 145. And that's really been our sweet spot for a long duration of time, for really 3 months since October 10th. So 3+ months now. So let's see what we got, man. A lot of institutions buying. Morgan Stanley's in on it now. Charles Schwab, I think, has got some interest in on it. Grayscale. A lot of institutions are starting to put staking and ETFs that are getting filed for the stock market. So we definitely have a lot of big money that can support us at these levels, in my opinion. So I do believe this is a nice time for the turnaround to take place. But again, only time will tell. Keep your eyes glued to the on-chain Lotto. Make sure you check the website frequently before buying to ensure you're not just wasting your money and the round's full. We do have a decent amount of slots right now available. Again, you can see the buys are coming in since 12 o'clock when it started. And we'll see how quick we fill up this game. See you on Big YOLO space in just a moment, though. And in the meantime, I love you guys. God bless. And if you two got anything you want to holler at people about, man, be my guest, bro. I know Massimo, you've been up here the whole day, man. If you wanted to holler at them, go Bears or the Bears or whatever you guys say, feel free to, bro.
No, man, just thankful to catch everything today. And, as always, man, I just, appreciative of all the support that you and Clutch are always willing to give everyone. I mean, like it's the writing's on the wall there, guys. Like, we may not be giving you the exact play of the day, but if you pay enough attention, you're going to learn. And as you're following these charts, you can see, right, if you're not winning, you're at least protecting yourself so that you can live to play another day on some of these volatile days. So I appreciate you guys, and I'm just thankful for everyone that always shows up, man, and thankful for the extra hour today, bro.
Yes, sir.
You help me grind while I'm sitting here. Me and G-Puff are just here working our asses off, Liz, so we're always thankful once we get an opportunity to chat a little bit longer.
I love it, bro. Yeah, man, you brought up a couple good points, man. Listen, if you run out of money, you'll never be able to trade and know if you were a good trader. So protecting profits and protecting your account is obviously the most important thing in the world, because the longer you can stay in the game, the more those opportunities will be presented to you and the easier you'll be able to identify them. That is our main objective here. It's not to hand feed you the trade. It's to show you what we're looking for so that you can develop a strategy of your own that can potentially put you in a better position. That's the goal. So those 2 points you brought up that you're grateful for, bro, is exactly what I want to hone in on for the rest of the people. This is all free. We don't charge you guys anything. The Telegram is free, and it's because our intent is pure. We make money our own trading and doing our thing in reality. We don't need yours. But if we can help a trader along the way become more successful, all we ask for is that you use the platform that'll take you there. It's Novex, man. Go to Novex.finance, open up an account, and get busy with it, bro. It's a sick-ass platform that is there to help you.
Yeah. This little spot right here needed to get blasted a little bit.
Last up, man, Clutch, man. I know you had to leave for a time frame there for the cookies. If you're still up here, bro, feel free to unmute and holler at the people before we dip.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you tuned in, thank you. Yesterday as well for Trade Talk, we talked about the 138 to 155 range being kind of the play. It ended up working out as such to a certain extent. We did prep y'all up for that 145 resistance. So there's a few signs and things that we talk about, but we were just kind of all over this. So I hope you guys are paying attention. We don't just sit here just to sit here. We sit here to pay attention so we can make some bread, and we continue to do so. There's free money in the market if you know what to look for. So hopefully we're helping you along the way pick up those things as it goes an insane long distance when applied correctly. So, personally speaking, in my own life, just things always get tough from a life perspective. But whenever you need money, I look at charts and I just take what's there. And it's pretty fun, man. Not gonna lie. So hope you find your mojo as well, whoever you are. And when it comes to trading, once you do, that's why we do trading content. We could do a lot of other stuff. We talk football, sports, you name it, but it's the goods, man.
Man, well put, bro. That's our goal, man. That's our agenda, man. We want to help you guys see what we see. Everyone's got a different trade strategy, just like we all have a different fingerprint, but you can apply a lot of these things that make sense to you. And when they don't make sense to you and you focus in on trade talks Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays at noon Eastern, or you come to the Cup and Handle with Ghost and Clutch on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which times vary, but try and be here at noon Eastern, bro, you guys definitely get some gems along the way that could potentially form your trading strategies, man, and put you in a position, like he said, to extract resources from a very, very giving market. You just got to know what to look for and how to apply it. And that's the hard part, but that takes the screen time. That takes the trades. It takes the market tuition. You're going to lose some before you win some. But if you can get yourself in a position to open up an account with Novex.finance, whether you're going through your mobile app like Phantom, clicking on the web browser within Phantom and going to Novex.finance, or using a PC, downloading the extension of your choice, Phantom, Soulflare, Meta, whatever you use, and then going to Novex.finance and connecting your wallet and making a deposit. It's all you got to do to get your feet wet, to dabble into it and start to understand some things. Because man, oh man, oh man, when it all clicks and it starts to make sense, it's very rewarding, both financially and mentally. I always say, man, anybody could trade. It doesn't mean it's for everyone, but anybody can do it. It's not rocket science to just pay attention to what's happening in the history of what's happening. That's all you got to really do, man. So I hope you guys definitely learned a thing or two. I hope you guys were able to, if you already learned these things because you've been tuned into Trade Talk and this particular show, and or our crash courses in the evening times, or our Perps and Poker Tuesdays and Fridays, I hope we at least reinforced some things, because there's nothing more important than repetitions. Repetitions form habits. When things become habitual, you build what's called consistency. And in my opinion, consistency is the foundation of success. In order to be successful, you must be consistent. I hope you guys have a blessed afternoon / evening / morning, depending on where you are in the world. Please make sure to check out Big YOLO's space. You can find him on Safe Moon Big YOLO. That's at Safe Moon Big YOLO. And you'll hear some awesome things about their ecosystem. In the meantime, God bless all of you guys, and I'll see you on Big YOLO space here soon. I want you guys to enjoy the outro video. For those of you that are new to the on-chain lotto itself, this will give you an idea of how the on-chain lotto works, what to look for, where to go, and it kind of just gives you a nice little breakdown of it in general. So enjoy the outro video so you could really start honing in on how to get busy with this game itself. Talk to you guys soon. God bless. Love you.
Welcome to Web3, DeFi Gaming, On-Chain Lotto.
Game is built on Solana, where every purchase of the native token AF automatically becomes a lottery entry. But combining the excitement of chance with the fairness and automation of decentralized finance. Your wallet address is your ticket. Specifically, the last 6 digits of your wallet form your unique lotto number, turning every wallet into a ticket and every transaction into a chance to win on the blockchain. Each buy is recorded on-chain, making every draw transparent, verifiable, and tamper-proof. When a winning number is drawn, prizes are distributed instantly through smart contracts. So in the end, justalotto.com isn't just another game. It's where luck meets the ledger.